Welcome, everyone. Gary Schick and Adam Burke here joining you today with the Quest Partner Team for this Interactive Partner Forum. Also joined by Ryan Howard and Brian Perdue, who are on the call as well from our channel team. We want to welcome you to today's session. We do have this monthly. It is an interactive partner session, so we welcome comments. If you want to come off mute, you can do that. We have a chat window up there. We've got some people manning that as well, and welcome any comments you have coming in. Next slide. Come on, Adam, we rehearsed this now. Okay. So,
Sorry.
just a couple of housekeeping notes up there. We are recording the session. So this is posted up on our website afterwards with all the previous ones as well, if anybody's interested there. We do appreciate you joining. The marketing team will be sending out an e-gift card after the meeting here for those of you in attendance. I think it's the first 50 that we have joining us today. So just a quick thank you there on that side as the holiday seasons, and glad to have that there with you today. Just a quick agenda. I'll spend a few minutes just for those of you who are new to Quest. I'll just skim over this real quickly in the About Quest Services Spotlight. I'm excited about talking about our session today. Adam's going to run through kind of our end of year and 2026 business strategy. We've got some industry updates and opportunities around that, and then we have some wrap-ups and Q&A after that. So about Quest. Next slide, Adam. For those of you new to Quest, again, appreciate you joining. We've been around for a long time, basically since 1982 is when we were founded. We are QuestSYS.com. There's a couple of companies called Quest out there, so that's always a reminder to myself. You can see we're a vendor agnostic, platform agnostic system integrator for the small to for the medium enterprise businesses. Been around for quite a while. Real simple go-to-market strategy. How can we help? Kind of that original trusted advisor thought. Hey, what are you trying to do? Where do you have gaps? What are your needs out there? And you can see we have a lot of different things that customers have pulled us into. Over the year, we have standalone services, integrated services through the entire stack that you see here, plus cybersecurity. We are headquartered in Northern California in Sacramento. We do operate a couple 100,000 square feet of data center space there along at our corporate headquarters. We also have data centers in Network and Security Operations Center in Manila, Philippines, over in Dublin, Ireland. Kind of the follow the sun model. So your MSP, MSSP services, end user help desk is another one that we support globally, along with co-location, cabinet space, remote hands, and et cetera there. Really part of our big differentiator, in the channel is that flexible delivery and consumption model. So Adam's going to spend some more time here a little bit about, there's the traditional transaction there where that's the VAR world. So part of your portfolio through way of Quest is we're a VAR. We can help there, and we go through the service providers. Where we differentiate in the channel is, when you need more than a standalone service, you need integrated services and that kind of outcomes discussion. There's fewer and fewer suppliers that can deliver, for example, technology products with deployment services, smart hands, the implementation, day two support, end user help desk and those kind of things. So as you get into customer conversations where, they need more than one or two or three different solutions, that's oftentimes where the technology solution distributors will kind of swing their head over to Quest as a supplier in their portfolio. Okay.
So one thing,
Adam, do you want to run?
Yeah. So just a couple of things wanted to kind of throw out. We're getting some good headlines in the news. If you want to read a little bit about what our comments on AI and some things that Tim is highlighting. Tim Burke's our president and CEO. As far as what we're seeing as trends in the market, this is getting broadcasted from our partner port page. So if you go to questsys.com and double tap down on the partner page, or on our LinkedIn Quest channel program, our Quest channel partner program on LinkedIn, you'll see us broadcasting and updating you guys on all new kind of comments, things going on in the news, announcements of our partnerships and things like that. So please follow that page to get that. Love to share that content with you guys. We sent this out yesterday, and we already got about 15 end user engagements through partners back on this conversation. So when Gary and I were prepping for this, we're like, hey, this just happened. We gotta announce this to the partners. So major update and ramp up in DRAM and flash storage and pricing projections for any hardware acquisitions, data centers. There's a huge surge, and there's going to be a significant cost increase in 2026. So we've been getting this from our partners, from the Cisco's, Dell's, HPE's, Palo Alto's, all the manufacturers, anybody who's using flash storage and DRAM and memory. It's getting expensive next year. So if you're working with customers and you want to get some orders or they want to get some refreshes in before the end of the year, sometimes you hear this stuff and it's kind of like, okay, Cisco or Dell or HP or they haven't made their number yet. So they're going to kind of throw some FUD out into the market about a price surge. This one's not that. We've been doing this 42 years. This is not that. This is going to be a significant price jump next year for basically for memory and for flash storage and things like that. So if you want to get it, everyone loves attention. Everyone loves customer engagement. This is going to hit your people. So if you didn't receive the note, please let us know in the chat. Justin, myself, Darcy, we can resend you the notification that we sent out yesterday, and make sure you have it. And if you want to use that as a launch pad into kind of discussing some things with your clients, please feel free. Great question, Terry. The question was, is it due to tariffs? It's partially a tariff issue, but the majority of it are the large scale orders from the AI data centers and the people basically going out there and pre-ordering memory and compute and things that aren't even manufactured yet. So like you see the big, if you go to CNBC, it's almost every other day, like ChatGPT selects this vendor and Microsoft selects this vendor, and this person ordered a $4 billion order from this person. That's absorbing a ton of the market and the manufacturing right now. So it's just classic supply and demand. Some people think we're in an AI bubble right now. I tend to agree with them. And usually towards the end of the bubble, pricing gets really stupid and then everything kind of resets. Not quite sure what phase we're in of that, but we've been getting notified from our manufacturing partners that prices are going to significantly increase in 2026, mainly because of that hyperscale and AI ordering. So cool. So thanks, Gary. I'm going to jump into a little bit of what we're seeing and a little bit of what we're kind of training and reaching out and looking to do with our partners and our communications and things like that. So as far as, trusted advisor, and helping people from a technology standpoint. So real quick, Gary mentioned kind of where we came from, right? We've been in that trusted advisor role. We've helped organizations select IT. We are vendor agnostic. So we're a little bit unique in the channel, I believe, as a supplier. As a lot of you guys will work with TSBs and they'll kind of like let you know, hey, this group is a good Fortinet shop. This group is a good Cisco shop. This group is a good endpoint security or MDR shop, or those types of things. Wes has been doing this for 40 years, and we kind of have a different way of approaching the market. We approach the market in a very, very similar way that you do as a trusted advisor and as you're moving to that trusted architect type engagement. So we help put together the different parts and pieces and building blocks that we have in our kit bag to help basically execute an outcome and a solution. And that becomes a very long-term type of engagement. Sometimes in the trusted advisor, we start out as a VAR, right? And in the VAR game, what we would strive to do is be on the same side of the table as our customers, right? So if they're doing a network refresh, we would want to sit like you as the TA on the same side of the table as the customer and evaluate, hey, is this a Juniper solution? Is this a Cisco solution? Is this an HPE solution? Have them come in, maybe do a 3-bid kind of exercise. What are the price? What are the benefits? What are the, what's good, what's bad, all that kind of stuff. And we would sit on the same side of the table as them. Nothing wrong with that. Great strategy. Definitely something you can do. What we've transitioned into, and what we try to evangelize to our partners and to you, is we are an organization that can help put those building blocks together as an architect. And ultimately, when you're building that long-term relationship with your customers, you want to help them beyond just advising. You want to help them build an outcome. And what Quest does, what we've been doing for 40 years, is moving into that outcome and solution-based engagements where, hey, they want to approach their security, and they have this type of a requirement around their security. Okay, excellent. Multi-factor authentication, endpoint security, notifications, whatever it is, there are lots of resources in the kit bag that can address that. And this is how your customers see you, as well as how you want to present yourself. Sometimes the customer is going to wait for the pitch. Hey, you should buy CrowdStrike instead of SentinelOne, or you should buy, the new Cisco Splunk integrated services as opposed to Arctic Wolf, or whatever the pitch is going to be. All are great solutions. As an architect, what you can do and what Quest does is try to understand what are the outcomes that customer is trying to have, and then what are all the different solutions that have to be integrated together to get to that outcome. Now, the reason we got here is about 75 to 78% of IT projects fail to meet their stated objectives. Fail to meet their stated objectives. So the reason that is because people will buy point solutions. Maybe they evaluate a new network core or a new hypervisor or a new data center, and they forget to tie in all the other adjacent services. And that can lead to 70% failure in that initial project, to meet its stated outcome. So as we're moving together and we're helping to build for our customers, what's really been successful for Quest and what we've been very, very successful with our partners on is moving to that architect and outcome-based conversation, right? It's a long-term value. You're helping with all the aspects of the technology, and you're helping them define where do you want to be, and then don't have it be a vendor conversation. Sometimes Quest gets put in the vendor role. I mean, I get it. We're a supplier in the TSP ecosystem, and everyone's got their buckets in the back office. That's fine. But when you really get to know Quest a little bit more, you'll understand there's a different way to approach it and bundle these things together. So what we're doing and our underlying value and our strategy is kind of helping with that strategic outreach, understanding what the customer's looking for help with, right? It's you're not reacting to, hey, I'm buying Microsoft licensing. Can you get me a quote? It's, hey, I'm acquiring a new organization and 30% of their people are on G Suite. Can you help me with a migration project? Into, okay, what's their strategic move? Are they moving G Suite? Are they moving Microsoft? Are they moving everything to Azure? How is that going to happen? And there's a lot of things to consider there. What do you really know? Why are they buying Microsoft licensing? Why are they refreshing their firewalls? Why are they moving to Zero Trust? What's the underlying driver for that? And then what are those adjacent technologies that maybe they're missing? Maybe they don't see what's going to be tied into that Zero Trust architecture. Maybe they don't understand necessarily all the parts and pieces that need to go into that logging and that monitoring and alerting. Tons of opportunities there. Excuse me. So sometimes people think that the win is only in the transaction. But what we see as a long-term partner with these accounts and with you is the success is I'm really sorry. The success is around building the relationships and understanding, the opportunities that you can uncover. So things that we do, we call it pursuing the white space. We have multiple different pillars of services: managed security, infrastructure services, product, and other types of assets there. And sometimes what we see is having intentional conversations with clients. One of the best things that we do, and one of the best areas where we succeed with partners and clients, is around capability reviews. So we'll talk about it a little bit later, but the capabilities that you can have a conversation around is, being curious around what they're doing in their infrastructure services, physical assets, wireless, video surveillance, access control, things like that. Trying to understand, just take 5 to 10, 15 accounts and try to map out what are they doing across the white space. A lot of TSBs have different pillars in their back office, right? Cloud, colo, security, physical infrastructure. We call those pillars of services. We execute and operate within all of them. But understanding what your clients are doing in those areas is a huge opportunity. And then what we always see is there's going to be patterns when they buy or when they subscribe or when they move to different things. So if they're investing in on-premise assets and perhaps they need help with day 2 support, you might not have been in that transaction to get that initial win. But what we've built and what we do is we always have additional building blocks that can help accommodate what they're doing next. Technical on-call support is a fantastic resource for you as a partner, no matter who you're talking to or when you're talking to them. Organizations always need people who can help them execute and operate and support their environments day 2. Doesn't matter who they are. Every customer that we talk to, we have about an 80% close rate with our partners and their customers when we get on a call with them and talk about technical on-call support. Most of us support the middle market, some SMB, some enterprise. Majority of Quest business is successful in what we call the middle market. And there's not a middle market firm out there that if you can establish that trusted relationship with them and prove to them, hey, I have resources, I have engineers, I have people that are on call 24/7 and can help support your environment. Technical on-call support is a fantastic pattern to recognize everybody needs something like that. Again, and we're always looking for being curious about what organizations are doing, and seeing where potentially you can help. As an example, some simple questions. Some partners are doing a fantastic job, who are traditionally selling UCaaS, CCaaS, and connectivity, moving into application space. And it's just by asking simple questions. These are not people who come from system integration backgrounds. They're not people who come from Microsoft or other, large software manufacturing organizations. They're just asking the questions that people that they're selling their UCaaS and their CCaaS and their connectivity to. Basically asking, hey, who manages your applications for you? Have you done an application rationalization project? Have you evaluated your stack of SaaS providers, and do you have any overlap, right? Who's managing your SaaS applications and your subscriptions? Just get a little bit curious about that. And then as you get a little bit more comfortable, you can have conversations around things like agile, right? Have you considered moving to an agile methodology within your app dev environment? Would you like to talk to someone about that? Quest does coaching workshops. We do agile workshops. We do sprint reviews and exercises with clients. So helping to have those curiosity questions around application development, great way to get out of the traditional telecommunications, UCaaS, CCaaS, or even the security conversation. Just being curious around it. Some examples of wins we had just last quarter: database assessments, starting around $4,000. We get in, we take a look at their entire database architecture. We look at their queries. We take a look at how things are scripted. We give them a good executive summary. Here's what you're doing well. Here's what you could be doing better. And here's some areas where we would recommend you maybe making a move or making a transition. API security review. We just had this yesterday where an organization was looking for a way to mitigate a Salesforce issue where there's some potential vulnerabilities around some API integration. So if you have organizations that are leveraging Salesforce, Microsoft Dynamics, Workday, any of these business record systems, they have APIs, they have integrations, those connections between those applications need to be evaluated. That's where a lot of security gaps are. So having those conversations. Another last area that I'll talk about is what we call our sprint zero. When you bring a Quest engagement to the table, typically what we like to do is do a little bit of a technical debt assessment, right? So we're going to go in and do what we call a sprint zero to document where your client is today and how far they need to go down the path to get to where they want to be. And it gives them a good kind of snapshot of what they're working on. Any questions so far on how to engage or a couple areas that we're covering there? Any questions from the team?
And Adam, I just maybe want to make a bridge here to just again, why are we sharing this? This is internal messaging that we're having within our organization, and we really wanted to share it. This comes with Quest, and we're a little bit different in the channel. When you bring us an opportunity to get in, we assign internal resources to follow up with your customers on your behalf. That's kind of our default move, unless you'd prefer that we didn't. But you will be tagged as the partner of record for any transaction, win or lose at the beginning, and ongoing business coming out of that account. Wanted to share what we're doing behind the scenes. This obviously translates into the channel and the trusted advisor role that you have. I think the connection is us too. There's a lot of growth opportunity. The statistics coming from the TSCs we hear are there's average of 1 or 1.2 transactions per customer, and those that have 3 and 4 and 5 different solutions are by orders of magnitude more successful with their business, and we concur with that. This is just again kind of a behind the scenes look of content that we're sharing with our teams. Adam's going to roll into some more information here. Again, this is what we're communicating internal for our strategy that can also apply to you and be available to you as resources. So thanks, Adam. I just want to compliment what you're talking about there.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what we believe. That's how we're training our people to reach out and support opportunities that we're working with you guys and that you bring to bear. So some resources and tools that are available. We have a monthly Elevate communication tool as well as turnkey marketing playbooks. So the monthly Elevate is basically, hey, we talked a little bit about the latest news, right? Where Tim was quoted around people's preparedness for AI. That's a great way, a great tool. Hey, check out this comment around AI. Does this resonate with you in any way? Are you guys experiencing similar challenges? And then our turnkey marketing playbooks are fully put together resources that you can take, put your branding on it, put your own messaging spin on it, but they're pre-calibrated email messages, LinkedIn messages, and all of our content around that specific building block or pillar. So as an example, our communication tool is basically here to help send out messaging around a specific example. So this one is, hey, data sovereignty, right? It's a blog. There's a link to it. There's a synopsis. You can put some messaging in it saying, hey, thought you might find this relevant. Talks about data sovereignty. It's going to get into the security conversation. Is going to get into the collaboration conversation. It might spark some good conversations there. Couple little bullet points on how to maybe incorporate it into your conversation. The business impact. Being proactive around this. Using it to kind of position you and Quest as a guide to help them through that conversation and what they're doing around data sovereignty and how to secure their data. You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be an expert in cloud strategy. But if you send this out and see if people have an interest in it, you basically pick up the phone, talk to Quest, get it registered, and we'll get people assigned to come in and help. We do have some some talk tracks and some things that are baked out in there. And then, like I mentioned before, we love the curiosity questions, right? These are some just really simple questions, open-ended, that, you can use with clients to kind of spark it. So this is just an example of what we do from an Elevate standpoint. The turnkey partner marketing playbooks are extremely robust. So blog topics, LinkedIn, email packages, social media posts, all of our case studies around that specific offering, whether it's application development, cybersecurity, physical infrastructure, everything that we do is available in the marketing playbooks. These are all on the partner website. Very simple. You download them. We'll reach out. We have marketing specialists who are assigned specifically to support you if you would like help with these. So if you download it and you're open to a conversation, they'd reach out, and basically Darcy and her team would be reaching out to see how we can help and help you get the messaging out there. It's kind of as an example, this is just a campaign overview that we have around end user help desk. For whatever reason, I wish I knew what was going on in the market. Maybe you guys are, talking to a lot of customers out there. Help desk continues to be a significant issue. And, we're seeing a lot of different kind of service offerings kind of adjacent to that come out. So what we have around our components here, and again, here's the link, Justin, if you want to put that link in the chat as well. We have the methodology of the campaign, specific calls to actions, talk tracks, blog content, LinkedIn posts. My favorite is, and kind of like when we shared out that price hike that's going on in 2026, simple email templates. Simple emails coming from you as a trusted advisor and a resource who knows them to spark that conversation. LinkedIn posts are great for awareness. Blogs are great for awareness and kind of keeping the messaging out there. But I think your guys' secret weapon is people trust you. You have a relationship with them. They open your emails when you send it to them. The email templates are fantastic for getting engagement. So, Gary, did I hear you come off mute there for a sec? Nope. Someone else? Okay. So end of year, it's coming up on New Year's and Christmas time here. We run a hot list of end of year projects. Everyone's trying to get things done at the end of the year. Kind of pull through, get their budgets aligned, get things, completed by end of year. So big push that we're seeing right now is end of year project completion. So project management, resources, staff aug, our technical on-call support is absolutely exploding right now with new people signing on and pulling resources in to execute, 4-hour, 20-hour, 30-hour, multi-week engagements. We're also seeing people needing help with backfill and on-site resources. So getting people on site. And as always, emergency support, IR at Questis.com. We're unfortunately continuing to see people, get hit. We just had a partner the other day who they had an issue and they needed help, right? So they launched an IR with Quest to come in and internally help them out with some issues they were having around email. So we're here 24/7, but a lot of projects are trying to get pushed across the goal line. If you need any help or you need some assistance with that, we definitely have the resources, and we're definitely, running and gunning towards the finish line here for 2025. Technical on-call support, again, is something that's, I believe, is a major differentiator for Quest because it includes all of these different skill sets, but also remote, on-site, and emergency, right? And we have two ways they can engage. One, they can set a retainer, right? They can put a bucket of funds set aside to do that. Or we have a pay-as-you-go model now as well. Sometimes when we had an 80% success record with technical on-call support, usually that 20% that maybe wasn't quite ready for it was majority around, yeah, I'm not quite sure if I can sock aside, 10 or, $5,000 to $10,000 right now. So what we did was we put in place a simple pay-as-you-go option for them. So if they don't want to budget for it and set aside money, we can do a pay-as-you-go model, which is a good update to the program. Gives them the ability to basically click on and assign resources. I believe the smallest one's about a 4-hour retainer that they launch. But that's all pay as you go, which is great. And again, any emergency doesn't have to be cybersecurity related. IR@questsys.com. It can be a fiber cut. It can be a site going dark. It can be a data center issue. It can be a flooding issue. It can be a fire issue. It can be a malware, ransomware. It can be email hack. It could be anything around an emergency where your customer needs very, very quick emergency support. Go to this, just email IR@questsys.com. We take this extremely seriously. We've tested some other IR people out there. Sometimes they call back. Sometimes they don't. If you shoot it to IR@questsys.com, you will get contacted. Like, it hits major organizations within Quest, a lot of eyes on it. Culturally, that's what we believe. We want to be available very, very quickly. So the other thing that we're seeing also with folks, this is something in Q4 that we're focusing on, is more preventative, right? So IR is emergency response. It's, reactive. Prevention around cybersecurity and checkups, helping organizations assess what they have and where they can improve it. These are the 7 areas people typically get in trouble: email, patching, protecting their endpoints. Are their backups actually doing what they say they're going to do? How they're connecting to things, where their people are going, and their edge security, their firewalls, right? So we'll do all of them, and we include this as a requirement in all of our managed services as an annual test. But we do it as a standalone as well. And they can do it for a single service. So if they just want to check out their Proofpoint or their Mimecast or whatever, it's $775 for one. They can do all of them for $4,500. We have spiffs associated with these. These typically lend to, no one's writing home about a $2,000 one-time transaction. I know we all love reoccurring revenue. These translate to services. If you're getting in there and you're helping them assess their backups, their endpoints, or their patch management, these convert. These really, really help convert to monthly reoccurring and build kind of credibility around cybersecurity policies for your clients at a very, very, reasonable cost point. So pretty much all of us have clients who, have. What's up, Barry?
No, sorry. I'm just going to say that where we're seeing the biggest value as an organization and in the channel is cybersecurity is an overwhelming topic. It's a huge, topics that all of us would love to get. Everybody says talk cybersecurity. There's a lot of people give you the stiff arm. I'm good. Thank you very much. I've got stuff. Where this is super helpful is just that next question is, hey, how do you know it's working? Or when's the last time you checked on something that for minimal cost can really open a door and candidly give you some credibility and trust and value for not much cost for the customer that's giving you the stiff arm, right? So making that pivot, if you're trying to get into cybersecurity customers and understand what to talk about, people have this stuff, or they should, but it's just complicated to keep up with this stuff. It's just constantly moving. And, if people had nothing else to do, they have no problem taking up this, or not. But it gets hair on these things, get hair on them all the time. And it's a great engagement opportunity, not for the $700 or whatever it is on that side up there. It's on the tentacles on the other side of that. These have some great conversion rates.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great point. These, and we know, cybersecurity is a very, very crowded landscape. Like Gary said, this is a way to take it away from, hey, this endpoint product or this MDR solution is better than this one. That's not what this is. This is a way to help the customer assess, like Gary mentioned, when's the last time you looked at your email security and your policies? When's the last time you validated your backups? Would you like any help with your MFA? The example of the issue we had around an email scenario for a partner was a multi-factor authentication issue, right? It was the idea that a lot of people in an organization had multi-factor authentication was mandated. They had some key people in there who it wasn't, right? So helping your IT director or your security specialist or someone at your account kind of communicate some risks to hire and give them some good feedback, a good snapshot of what they actually have in place. Great opportunity to build credibility in the cybersecurity space. AI workshops, we continue to get engaged around AI conversations, typically around readiness and where they're actually trying to use it. Great tool, great resource, got some fundamental areas around security. So if it's a co-pilot conversation or if it's leveraging different large language models and different, applications in the cloud, a lot of it is around assessing the database, understanding what's available, where they have resources that are available to leverage AI, and where they maybe want to tighten up their security policies before they kind of open Pandora's box when it comes to things like Copilot and other things. So it's a paid engagement, starts at $5,000 and goes up from there based on the size of the organization. But it's a fantastic summary and helps organizations kind of move with that strategy down the path, depending on where they are. So there's a no-brainer here, and some partners have been taking advantage of it. Some are still kind of evaluating it. And what we're seeing is, I'm going to kind of jump real quick to some of our spiffs. We had 10 new logos, spiffs last month. Super excited. You guys crushed it. Absolutely fantastic. New onboarded logos last month. A lot of other expansion opportunities in existing accounts, but we had 10 of these. But we had a little bit of a drop off in the capability reviews. So just to put it out there for the team, capability reviews are a 30 to 45 minute session where we do a little bit of a prep call with you as the advisor and the partner. You let us know which capabilities you kind of like us to focus on. Because, first rule of partnering is don't compete with your partner. So you let us know. And then we hop into a call with your customer to talk to them about different areas where you and Quest can help them across all of our different pillars. So it turns into a dialogue around a couple different building blocks, and we pay $250 for every single capability review conducted. So if you're out there and you're looking to have a quarterly assessment, a review, an engagement, something with one of your partners, capability reviews yield huge results. I don't think we've had a capability review with a partner yet that did not lead to either a contract, MRR, an engagement, a cybersecurity assessment, some type of engagement from a capability review. There's so much that you bring to the table as an advisor and as a trusted resource with Quest backing you up in our building blocks. It's unreal when we actually get these. So capability reviews are fantastic. We have new logo spiffs that are coming on board. The other one that I think is even cooler than sometimes the capability reviews is the pipeline spiffs. So these are areas that we're leaning into. We would love for you to lean into them as well, and being curious with your customers. But application development, Brian's knocking out a ton of capability reviews, but sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chats in the peanut gallery. The pipeline spiffs are around these three areas. So any pipeline opportunity where we get on a customer call with you as your preferred customer or as your preferred partner. So we're the only caveat here is we got to go to the prom, we got to go to the dance together, right? This isn't a 3 vendor choose your own adventure kind of engagement. This is a, hey, we like Quest to help with application development. We'd like to introduce you to Quest and bring them in here. So that is the one caveat, full transparency. But it's a pipeline spiff of $500 for an application development conversation. This could be something like a SQL database, SharePoint migration. Hey, they're thinking about moving their ERP from on-premise to cloud. They're long-term Oracle. They want to move to hosted NetSuite. They're Microsoft Dynamics, Great Plains. They want to move to an Azure instance of Dynamics. Any of those application development opportunities, we would love to get engaged with you and your customer from a pipeline standpoint. Doesn't have to close, doesn't have to reward, doesn't have to do any of that, but we'd like for you to register that with Quest, register it as a pipeline spiff, make yourself $500. We pay it to you directly via a digital gift card to the advisor who registers it. And the same goes for our cyber defense suite. So we have, if you go to our website or you're curious, and Partner Manager can send you the full deck on the cyber defense suite. But the cyber defense suite is basically 11 services in the cybersecurity realm. So think endpoint protection, monitoring, alerting, SIM, firewall, MDF, or not MDF, that's marketing funds, that's different. MFA, right? So multi-factor authentication, licensing, password protection. There's 11 building blocks in there. So pretty much everything security that we do. That's another pipeline spiff we love to put out there and get engaged in those conversations. And then one that's going to be coming up, I think, a lot more in 2026 is risk management, business continuity, and disaster recovery planning. So these are things that we do as a service. These are consulting engagements we do. These are planning sessions we do. We do risk management as a service with clients. So think about auditing and helping them maintain those audits and that certification level from a compliance standpoint. We provide that as a service. So think like fractional CFO, but with a risk analyst. So these are the three areas we're leaning into. $500 spiff. Again, want to go in there shoulder to shoulder with you as your preferred partner to help execute on this, get you the resources, get you the people in there to help have those conversations. So really excited about those. We're going to continue these programs. They've been very, very successful. We've paid thousands of dollars. I think we're entering some significant figures for 2025. We'll promote those at the end of the year. But yeah, big initiative. We want to incentivize those activities. So if you're not getting it, we are sending out quick Quest updates. Please let your partner manager know. Let the team know. Email partners@questsys.com. We try not to inundate you guys with too many emails, but this is an important one. We call it our quick Quest updates. So this is a monthly update that you get from Quest, highlighting basically some successes that we've had, some areas where we've got some new features, some new partnerships, some new security, some new assets, whatever it may be. And then we also have basically, here's what we're communicating, right? Here's what we're promoting out to the market, to your customers, to what we're seeing. These are security advisories. These are areas where, like on here, there's a Microsoft issue, here's a critical vulnerability. These are things, everything that we're sending out, we're sending it to you. So, but my dream, right? So Quest, why you do this? My dream would be you as a partner reach out and you read this and you see like, hey, I see a risk advisory on here, or I see a service summary, or I see a conversation starter. Talk to your partner manager. Shoot partners@questsys.com an email saying, hey, I want to know more about those Microsoft MFA changes. Or can you shoot me some of your templatized emails around that security advisory or around that instant response or whatever it is. These resources, we have them. We're developing them every month for you guys. So if you're not getting this, would love to send it to you. It comes out once a month. Great summary of all things Quest. As an example, security advisories. The security advisories come out, basically we tier them out as far as, how much risk are they? There's a lot of security advisories coming out from the vendors all the time. We send these out. We send these out to the different TSP engineering teams, the different security contacts we have, and we send them directly to you and your customers. So and these happen all the time. So we do send those out. You can opt in. You can, of course, opt out. But we'd love for you to opt in. We don't send these out. Security advisories are not sales enablement. They're basically notifications. Here's a vulnerability that you or your partner may have. Here's a recommended course of action. Let us know if you need help. Very, very simple, but very, very powerful tool for you if you forward those along. As the partner record for that account, those are tied to you for any growth or anything that happens there. So again, if you have any questions about those, or you want to make sure you're on that security advisory list, partners@questsys.com. This will be on, so we're sending this out, Justin and the team, we send this all out. Tons of data sheets, tons and tons of data sheets. I saw we're Quest working on our ranking in some of the back office resources with the TSBs. I'm a very competitive person. I saw where we ranked in some of our data sheets as far as, them being leveraged and accessed and things like that. And I want to improve that. So if you guys need data sheets, need resources, need anything like that, all the links are here for a lot of our different services. There's lots of different summaries, data sheets, overviews, case studies, all that kind of stuff is in the summary here, but also it's in the back offices of our different partners as far as master agents and TSDs and folks like that. So please leverage that content. And if you have a question about it, I love getting questions. I had a question from my buddy Sean the other day. Hey, do you guys do this? I love that question. Love the question. Hey, do you guys do this? Send those questions in all day. I think I get 10 questions a day from Brian and Gary and Ryan and the team, re-forwarding those along, or we getting hit up from folks on that. I hate to hear, shoot, I wish I would have known you guys did that. So love the questions if you have them. And those are always great. How to engage. I think everyone on here probably knows this, but just in case you don't, partners@questsys.com. That hits the team. We have our national partner managers and channel managers. So, Mr. Purdue, Gary Schick, Ryan Howard, myself, we're always available for you guys. Partners. So we have a partner portal. So if you go to questsys.com, QUESTSYS.com, and just click on partners twice, you can go to the main registration page for an opportunity, or you can go to the partner portal where all the resources, this recording, all our other recordings are up, and all of our training assets are there as well under the resources tab. Opportunity registration. This helps us track, assign resources, get the right pre-sales engineers and folks assigned to you for your opportunity. So please either register your opportunity or have your counterparts, the TSDs, execute it for you. But that really helps us track and get the appropriate resources assigned to you. If you ever have an emergency support or need anything like that, ir@questsys.com. Going into 2026, we're going to continue to do the headquarters and executive briefings. If you ever want to come visit HQ, meet with our executive team, see the operations, kind of get a good level set, always welcome. We're doing that about once a quarter as a large group, usually between 10 to 15 advisors at a time. And that's by invitation. Or if you would like to come out, we'd love to host you. As Gary says, planes travel both ways, so we'll come out and see you guys in the field. You're always welcome to come to headquarters. Love to host you anytime. But yeah, partners@questsys.com for capability reviews or any type of executive briefing. Love to set that up. Snapshot of the support team. This will be there for you guys to take a look at. Yeah, so I know I left a little bit of time here. I got about 10 minutes for Q&A. I didn't know if any questions came in, Justin or Gary managing the chat, but any questions? I know it's an open forum, so anyone wants to come off mute or shoot a question in the chat, you're welcome to.
And can you read back the chat? I did see some chat questions there. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, let's see. Joel asked, I don't know if you hit this already, Adam, but Joel asked, which states and cities do you cover on-site service?
Oh yeah, so so internationally, we dispatch technicians internationally. In the United States, there's nowhere in the United States that we don't go from a resource standpoint. So Hawaii, Alaska, Florida, New York, California, we go to all those different regions. So for about the last 15 years, we've been developing what we call our Clear database and our virtual bench. So Quest has a little over 250 employees total, and then we have about 1,000 contractors that we use for specific projects, and we keep them on in what we call our Clear database. So it's not like a Field Nation gig where we contract that out. These are known contractors that we have a relationship with, that we've been employing and dispatching from a contractor standpoint for about 10 years. So, and we're always looking for good people that want to do that type of work as well. So great resource.
Cool. We got another question. Would love to hear if you do DRBCP assessments.
We do. Yeah. One of my first jobs at Quest was helping to position and deliver business continuity and what we used to call DR for the day. Been doing that for about 16 years. Usually starts out with a tabletop discussion and then moves into like resource coordination, planning, scripting that out. So one of the biggest things people love to talk about DR, from a technology standpoint, hey, I got this storage array here, and I got this storage array here, and I'm going to use some cool backup technology to back up from one place to another. That's awesome. There's about 5,700 other steps that need to happen in order to actually recover the applications and connect your people to the applications and make sure that they're routing the right way and everyone's kind of getting a good user experience. And there's a lot more, as you know, I think that came from Sad. A lot more that goes into that. So we build those plans, we execute on those plans, and we manage the actual recovery of the assets with organizations, which is kind of our secret sauce to our security. We actually know and manage the rebuilding and the connectivity and getting those people back connected to it. So there's a lot to BCP, business continuity planning. And oftentimes we find that we come into an account, they have a BCP plan that's kind of been on the shelf for 3 years and no one really kind of knows who's responsible for what. Big area of improvement and opportunity there for clients. So we have some specialists on the team. I think Sean has been on one of these sessions before, but he manages a team of risk specialists and analysts who help script out those plans. So. Sorry, that was a long-winded answer.
Hey, Adam,
Yes.
let me hit one other thing here too. It's kind of on the end of the year here. We're all going through 2026 planning. We do a lot of events, as you guys know, in the channel there. So Ryan Howard and I travel around. We're out doing holiday parties this week. We'll be doing different cities throughout next year with our TSD packages. I also do want to throw out there, we have a lot of success doing customer events. Also, would be totally open to listening to if you're doing some events where you need some contributions or some speakers or some funding there. We have a pretty simple process on our side. We just need to understand what the event is. Got to go through the justification on our side. How am I going to get my money back? Kind of thought there, but we have we're actively interested in engaging with you for those opportunities. Those have some great success as well. So please reach out to the partner team there, kind of share with us what those plans are, and we'd be happy to take a look at those.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's all we got for questions for the day.
Okay. Well, excellent. Well, appreciate everyone spending the time I'm gonna go get myself a cough lozenge and square away whatever the
Yeah.
heck was just happening with my voice at the beginning of the call. So I apologize, you guys.
Good
suffering
recovery.
through that with
Good
me.
recovery.
But yeah, I think this is the last partner forum of the year. So the next partner forum is going to be in 2026. So I'm sure we'll be talking to all of you before then, but if we don't talk to you, have a great Christmas, a great New Year's. And we'll see you all in 2026.